What's up, my cuties? I am so excited to see you today. Today is Wednesday, May 20th. Shortcut date is 5/20/20. So it is a beautiful day outside. I sat outside and read this morning, but I have not really spent any time in the sunshine. So after this video, that is going to be my main goal. I have a ton of shout outs and announcements for today. So shout out starting with the people who commented on the most recent video. There were 23 views, which is awesome. That's a solid number that I'm pretty happy with. But the comments of people who I know completed it were Monica. She also said, miss you all so much. Monica, we miss you very much as well. London, it was your birthday on May 11th. Oh my gosh, that's so awesome. I wish we could have celebrated with you. Serena, Audrey, Suraj, Lexi, and Morgan, thank you so much for commenting. It means a lot to me to know that you are doing the work and that you're letting me know that you're doing the work. That's super helpful. Remember that this week we have two competitions going on. We have a Dreambox competition for the most minutes completed on Dreambox, which is the math application. It's under the math folder in our Clever Classroom. And a Raz Kids competition. So the most minutes read starting from Monday to Friday. The competition will end at Friday at 5 p.m. So I'm going to show you or read out the leaderboard that we have for both of those competitions right now as of Wednesday at 2:22 p.m. So Dreambox in the lead, we have Samuel and Kother, both with over 2 hours completed. Awesome job. And then Ahmed and Fernanda in the leaderboard. Awesome work. Raz Kids, we have Monica with a huge lead right now. It's going to take a while if you guys want to catch up to her. She has an hour and 18 minutes, I believe. And then Ahmed and Braylon are in the 40-minute range, and Samuel is in the 30-minute range. I'm seeing that a lot of students are like signing on to Raz Kids but not doing any activity. I can see that. So if you're just logging on your computer and you go and like play soccer outside and then come back, it doesn't count. So I can see if you're actually doing work or not. So make sure that if you want to earn minutes in this competition, that you're actually taking time to read and do the lessons, because that's what the reward is for. Today we're going to go over the math story, and then I also did your ready lesson, so we'll go over that as well. And then, our book. We'll read a little bit more of what do you do with a chance, and then we'll all go back outside in the sunshine. Does that sound good? All right, so today you had a math story that I thought was pretty well written. To be honest, I thought this was pretty appropriate for our grade level, and you just had to read closely. So it says that Sonia bought a package of stickers. 1/6 of the stickers in the package were horses, 1/8 of the stickers in the package were dogs, and 5/8 of the stickers in the package were sheep. Compare the fraction of stickers that were dogs to the fraction of stickers that were horses. So of course, I took the time to jot what I was solving for at the bottom. Then I reread the question, and I know that I'm solving for comparing the fractions between that were dogs to the fraction of stickers that were horses. When you're asked to compare fractions, that means that you need to determine if the fraction is greater than, less than, or equal to each other. So if you read this carefully, you would know that you didn't really even need to know anything about the stickers that were sheep, because that's not part of the question. You're only comparing the stickers that were horses, or that were dogs, to the stickers that were horses, okay? So I chose to compare these in 2 ways. So I chose to do a model, and I chose to do a number line. We know a lot about fractions already, and I hope that if I held this up to you like this in a mini lesson, you would be able to tell me which one is bigger. However, the question specifically said to use a model picture or a number line to support your answer. So the other thing that I'm thinking about as I'm doing this is I'm thinking that what is a numerator and what is a denominator? You always want to think about what you're actually working with in the same way that you would with multiplication or division when you're working with fractions, right? The numerator is the amount of pieces that you are using, or the amount of pieces that are shaded, the amount of pieces being used. The denominator is the total amount of pieces. Or, well, it also helps you understand the size of the piece. So as you can see here, I did two models. I did the horse, which I broke into 6 total pieces, and I shaded in 1/6, because 1/6 of the stickers were horses. On the bottom, to represent the amount of stickers that were dogs, I made the whole the same size, because the packages are the same size, except I made 8 slots for this one, because it has a denominator of 8, and I shaded in 1 piece to represent 1/8. So as you can see here, I made a dotted line and highlighted it for you so that you could see that based on my model and the size of the pieces, I can tell that 1/6 is greater than 1/8, okay? Now, it is really important to have a strong base understanding of fractions because we're not computers, and as you can even tell, like, these pieces are never going to be perfect in your model. So here I did a number line to check my work. First, I made my starting point and end point 0 and 1 because I know that both of my fractions are less than 1 whole. I made a landmark fraction in between to help me space out my fractions evenly, and I know that 1/2 is directly in between 0 and 1. I also know that 1/2 is equivalent to 3/6. I also know that 1/2 is equivalent to 4/8. So first, I broke my number line into 8ths, and you can see that I wrote them all in black ink here. And then I broke my number line into 6, and I actually didn't even go all the way to the end because I really only needed 1/8 and 1/6. As you can see here, I have a smaller jump from 0 to 1/8 and a larger jump from 0 to 1/6. So that means that from 0 to 1/6 is greater, and therefore I know for sure that 1/6 is greater than 1/8. I hope, though, that if I were to show you this, you would know that because you know that the numerators are the same. So the same exact amount of pieces are being used. So you can cross those out and compare the denominator. Yes? And we talked about how in class, the smaller the digit or the number in the denominator, the bigger the piece. Shablam, shabloom. It was funny that we had this sharing the crops text because we read a text very similar but with animal characters. This one was with a farmer and a landowner. As you can tell, this is a folktale. It's a huge lesson learned. Remember that lesson is the lesson that you can take into your own life, right? So how does it apply to you? So this has a huge lesson learned in this. It says, what is the central message of sharing the crops? The lesson learned, right? So the answer is A. Your second answer is B, right? We're not, yes, the landowner made a mistake by making a deal with a clever farmer, but that's not what the author wants you to take away, right? Like how often are you going to come across a clever farmer that you need to make a deal with? No, if it's your life as a 3rd grader at East Arbor, the author wants you to know that it's wrong to cheat others. Yes? Awesome. And then this was my constructive response. It says, explain which character in sharing crops learns a lesson. Use one detail from the folktale to support the response. And I said, the landowner learns a lesson. For example, in the beginning of the story, the owner wanted to get the better part of the deal. And the story goes on to show him making demands and getting outsmarted every time. It was not until the end of the story when the farmer suggested a fair deal that the greedy owner benefits. I think that was pretty good, if I do say so myself. What do you do with a chance? Then I thought, maybe I don't have to be brave all the time. Maybe I just need to be brave for a little while at the right time. I realized it was up to me. I promised myself that if I ever got another chance, I wasn't going to hold back. If I got another chance, I was going to be ready. Then, one seemingly ordinary day, I saw something shining far off in the distance. Is it possible, I hoped? Could this be my chance? I had to find out. I ran as hard and as fast as I could toward it. I don't know how to explain it, but the second I let go of my fears, I was full of excitement. It wasn't that I was no longer afraid, but now my excitement was bigger than my fear. That's a beautiful line. Listen to that again. It wasn't that I was no longer afraid, but now my excitement was bigger than my fear. That is pretty awesome. We'll finish this on Friday. Please remember, Friday you have your spelling test. I would love if more people, in addition to Suraj and Carter, would show me that you're studying and tell me the score that you got, because it's really awesome for me to know that those gentlemen are studying throughout the week and doing such an amazing job on the test itself. I sent an awesome email to your parents this morning about a completely optional, completely just for fun opportunity for you. I realized that I read every morning from 9 to 9:30, every morning. And I figured that it would be fun to have an accountability group where we just basically have like a reading club. So every day at 8:59 a.m., I'm gonna post a link in the Google Classroom. You're gonna enter on mute with your book, and we're basically gonna do like independent reading together at zero noise on mute. I did suggest that on the side we type one thing that in the chat box, one thing that we love about ourselves and one thing that we're grateful for, because that always kind of induces lots of happiness and is something that we used to do as a team anyways. So if you are interested in joining that, shout out to Samuel and Morgan who read with me this morning. It's really fun. You literally just hop on and read your book, but it just kind of gives you a sense of community, and you know that your friends and your teacher are also reading, which kind of motivates you to get it done as well. I hope you have a wonderful day. Get your booty out in the sunshine. Read a book if you haven't already. Get on Raz Kids, Dreambox, get those points. Love you.